Welcome to another episode of Bulldog TV. I'm Ruko and Bulldog TV starts now. We all have stories. They tell us about our history and where we are from. Bulldog TV crew member Kathy talked to us about living on Bikini Island.
You may have heard about the bombing that took place on August 6th through August 9th of 1945. Hundreds of thousands of lives were affected after the Hiroshima bombing that took place in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan. What you probably haven't heard of is the nuclear testings that began a year after, on July 1st, 1946, on the island of Bikini Atoll. But I have heard about it my whole life. My boo-boo's family lived there, of course, until that day. Everyone on the island had a story of their own, and those stories have been passed down through many generations. Life on the island wasn't all coconuts, rainbows, and hanging out on the beach. People on the island were unhappy, and some can even say they were miserable. Although life on the island wasn't good, it was hard for them to leave and say goodbye to their home. Saying goodbye was pretty hard as it was. Starting a new life, on the other hand, was just as hard. After having her kids, my grandma decided to make a new life here in Arkansas. For Bulldog TV, I'm Kathy Amane.
Thank you, Kathy, for sharing your boo-boo story. Do you ever feel stressed out? Vanessa has a great idea for a stress reliever. Check it out.
These are all the supplies you are going to need: flowers, balloons, funnel, aluminum foil, a spoon, and a marker. First, you're going to pull out a long piece of aluminum foil and lay it on the table. Then you're going to need to grab your balloon and attach it to the funnel. After attaching the balloon and the funnel, start putting flour in through the funnel. You then take off the funnel and very carefully and tie the balloon. Finally, draw a cute little smiley face.
I'm gonna have to make a couple of those. Time for a quick break. We'll be right back.
If you want fast, easy, and affordable service, visit McClarty Daniel.
Keep your vehicle running like new in our state-of-the-art service facilities. We know your time is valuable. Our factory-certified technicians with decades of experience will get you in and out and back on the road quickly. We service all makes and models at our 6 convenient locations in Bentonville and Springdale. Open 6 days a week.
Visit McClartyDaniel.com to schedule your service appointment today.
Experience everything Springdale has to offer. Visit ExploreSpringdale.com or download the new Explore Springdale app. It's the best place to discover all there is to do and see in Springdale. We'll help you explore our many eateries and attractions and introduce you to our shopping, arts, parks, and trails. You'll also find links to our great hotels and meeting venues. Download the new Explore Springdale app or visit ExploreSpringdale.com to begin your Springdale adventure.
Someday I hope to be a fashion designer.
Someday I hope to be a basketball player.
Someday I hope to be a doctor for kids. I also have seven school board members. I have 7 school board members.
Working
Working to ensure my success. Thank you. We thank you for believing in us.
We thank you
For believing in us.
March is Amnesty Month in the SHS Library. Return an overdue book during the month of March and all late fees will be waived. Email cpeters@estille.org or belove@estille.org if you have any questions. What is one thing that almost all students have in common? Quarantine. Most of us have been in it. Bulldog TV crew member Brian tells us about his time in quarantine.
COVID-19 has affected many people and families. One of those families was my own, and at one point we had 3 people in our house who tested positive for COVID. First it was my dad, then me, my mom was next, and then finally my sister. I felt pretty normal. The only thing that was really different was me having to stay on the couch, but all I did was lay on the couch, watch TV, and occasionally play some video games. Although COVID was spreading through my family, I was never scared because they made sure I was okay. However, it did get uncomfortable. I'd say the worst day I've had with COVID really wasn't that bad of a day. I felt pretty normal, except for just a really bad stuffed nose. But we had a machine that would, I guess, cure it and in minutes. So I really didn't have to worry about having a stuffed nose for long, at least. How I felt during these 2 weeks was depending on the day it was. Some days I was fine and could do everything that I normally did, and on others, I could really go for a cup of tea. But how I first felt whenever I tested positive was very different. When I got the call, what really upset me was the fact that not only did I have to stay an extra 2 weeks in the house, but so did my family. The day that I was finally let out of quarantine was probably the best day I could remember during those 2 weeks, even though I always felt fine. My time with COVID, I'd say it was able to recover pretty quickly. I'd say I only had one day where I had some symptoms, but they weren't really that bad. But when I went to go take the test, and the 2 days after I awaited the results, everything felt pretty normal. Many people were hit hard during this pandemic, but as you can see, it's not that bad as people make it out to be. And that's coming from someone who's had the virus, because there's nothing more satisfying than seeing a negative on that paper. For Bulldog TV, I'm Brian.
Fortunately, the COVID number have been decreasing for our state. Remember to wear your mask and sanitize. That's all the news we have for you today. I'm Ruko. Keep it classy, Springdale.